world pass. The world's gone crazy, ladies and gentlemen. The world has gone crazy, and it gets crazier and crazier. As I said, I'm still hoping for the apocalypse this week, right? Tomorrow's 9/11. You know, the forces of evil. You want to catch America with their pants down. I mean, basically, you can catch them anytime with their pants down. America is a mess. Like, mess beyond mess right now. But 9/11 attack, right? 9/11 nuclear war. That I would say, oh yeah, we're heading to apocalypse. That sounds good. I mean, either way, I listen. The way things are going, it seems impossible. Trump won't. I mean, there's ways they're going to stop him, right? But it seems impossible to me that Trump won't be the next president by a long way, right? A long way. We're a year out, right? And he's more popular than ever. You know, okay, the thing that really confused me, right? And it did, you remember the time in 2020 election, I thought the safest and most secure election of all time, which was clearly safest and securest, freest and fairest, safest and securest, where Joe Biden performed badly, apart from in the swing states, and then in a few areas in the swing states where he got like, you know, an extra 16 million votes. Totally normal. And if you think that's weird, you're going to go to jail. I was going to say you're a bigot. No, now you're going to go to jail. That's the way things are. So I'm like, why would God allow this? Like, I mean, this cheating. I mean, look, weirdly enough, the battle lines that were you had Trump, who was kind of on God's side, and you wouldn't have expected that. Right? You would not have expected like the godly virtues be represented by Donald Trump, who I always assumed was, you know, super scuzzy, which, and I liked him being scuzzy. I had no problem with him being, I like scuzzy people in general, you know, I do. Now, you know, I've seen them try and make up bull crap all the time to take him out. Like, you know, if they had to make up a piss tape, that means he hasn't done anything. Maybe he's been faithful to his wife even. I don't bloody know. I don't know. Although, you know, this is what I was thinking of. You know, the thing that really made the Awfuls. Who are the Awfuls? The affluent white female liberals. You know what made them really hate him? I mean, they hated him initially, but hearing that Access Hollywood tape where he says, oh, you know, women, if you're rich, you just grab them by a pussy and they let you, right? So here's what I think made them really mad. It's, well, you know, on the surface, obviously the objectification, yes, objectification. God, it's like I'm trying to, it's like I just landed here and I've like grown a rabbi clone. I'm like trying to objectification, right? Obviously that. But here's what I think really made them mad, right? It's that rubbing that reality in their face that women have destroyed feminism by throwing themselves at wealth and power, right? Women will have sex with you if you're wealthy and powerful, right? And that's just reality. You know, women have had an equal say in making sex transactional, which I think has devalued women. But I think that's the thing that made them like, he's evil, right? They've been nuts ever since then. The funny thing is this, though, right? When you look at like what a disaster Biden is and the world is right now, you see that every very sexist. I'll admit was like sexist. Every very sexist argument against the suffrage movement, right? And then what, the 1870s, I guess. When was the suffrage movement? Let's have a quick look. Suffrage movement. By the way, one of the absolute best Big Finish releases was called The Suffering. What year was it? 1920? No, was it that late? Blimey, I had no idea. That's the American suffrage. British. The great British suffrage movement. Where is it? That was also in 1918. That was after the First World War. Here, let me pull up this Big Finish release because it's so good, right? It's really one of the best ones. Hang on. Big Finish. I'm in the middle of listening to the new Luther Arkwright run right now. It's pretty good. There's a couple of annoying things in it, a couple of annoying updates in it. The Share that screen. Share screen. Doink. 373. That, and this is a 2-disc set, isn't it? Hang on. Yeah, 2-disc set. Simon Hollow. I haven't seen him write for Big Finish for a long. Oh no, Jacqueline Rayner. Freaking awesome, right? This is absolutely awesome. This is one of the best historical examinations of the suffrage movement, right? And it's a great piece of Doctor Who. It's First Doctor, Vicky and Stephen, right? And it's a really great chilling story, right? I absolutely love this one. A big time recommend. I'm going to put that in the chat. I don't know why I'm so nice to Big Finish, right? I do not know why I am so nice to them. It's not like they ever retweet any of my reviews, even the good ones, right? Never, ever. Anyway, all these sexist arguments against suffrage men, like, well, women, they'll just vote emotionally against their own interests. Well, I think Donald Trump pretty much proved that, haven't they? I mean, again, going back to what I was saying at the beginning, what is it that God wants? Like, why would God allow these the enemies of God, which I think is how I view the Bidens of the world, right? And they are. I mean, like, all this weird sex shit everywhere. Yeah, anything that is traditional Judeo-Christian thought they hate, right? Why would he allow them to prosper? I think it's to destroy them, right? I think it's to destroy them. And I thought it at the time, but I thought it was going to destroy them before January 6th. No, I think it's to literally destroy them. Because, they keep telling us how the economy is doing really great. Oh, Joe Biden's fantastic. Everybody loves the economy. And the polls are just get worse and worse and worse. Let's look at a few things there. Video file. Yeah, there's so much. I mean, firstly, I really want to point this out. You got the Hunter Biden laptop thing. Now, we've known about the Hunter Biden laptop, and it's like smoking gun evidence of corruption, right? And the mainstream media says there's no evidence whatsoever. They present no evidence. Let me show you this video for a second.
Show the Biden family, their associates, and their companies received over $10 million from foreign nationals.
Republicans have presented absolutely zero evidence.
There are thousands.
How do you I don't understand how you just directly lie, right? I just don't get it, right? I don't get it at all.
Of pages of documents relating to financial.
They should have the dates of all of these on these clips.
Financial transactions.
Zero evidence.
We've identified 6 new Biden family members involved.
Absolutely no evidence.
There's no evidence President Biden has any involvement here.
Text messages from Hunter's laptop where Hunter complains about having to carve out huge amounts of the money he makes for his father. Quote, but unlike Pop at the bottom, I won't make you give me half your salary.
No evidence of that.
Well, I mean, he hasn't produced any evidence.
They have uncovered.
This is surreal, right? It's surreal. And they keep saying, no evidence, nothing. No, there's no evidence. Well, what about all the evidence? Actually, who was that? Oh, it was a great clip. Evidence against Biden. Who was it that they... evidence against Biden... Liberal, hang on. Liberal. Now let's try this. Liberal confronted with evidence. Man, I spelled that wrong. I've got liberal and confronted linked together. Let's see if it comes up with a video. I'll try Google. Let's see if the old Google let me find it. Tell you, Elon, you're not doing me proud here, mate. You're not doing me proud. Wish I could remember it. Is it on Tim Paul's? Let me look at Tim Paul's videos if I can see it there. Is this it? It was on a podcast. Oh, I should. Thing is, I think I was on the. I think I was having what's the word I'm looking for? A shit at the time, right? Let me try Tim Paul. Maybe it's on his feed. Tim Paul. He had a lengthy interview with Bruano Wu, I think is the name, who was like this terrible person in Gamergate and like did dox people and just like did these like terrible stuff over there. And it's amazing what like she like referenced it slightly and goes, listen, I didn't. Oh no, it's not here either. Yeah, I'll never find it. Anyway. What? Okay, this is what AI is good for. Let me just show you this thing. Hang on. Now I've got to find that. It goes doink over there. This goes doink over here. Okay, fine. Where? I'll show you that in a second. Let's get back to this.
No evidence.
Various shell companies and this web of LLCs. You have Rosemont Seneca Partners, Rosemont Seneca Advisors, Rosemont Seneca Technology Partners, RSP Holdings.
CNN has reported on this. There's no evidence.
RSTP2 Bravo.
And they're still doing this thing. There's no evidence. But there is.
Rosemont Seneca Thornton. Rosemont Seneca Bohai.
They haven't produced much evidence. We've seen very little evidence.
According to the testimony, President Joe Biden was there when Hunter Biden messaged Chinese businessman Henry Zhao on WhatsApp. I am sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. You will regret not following my direction.
I mean, that all sounds a bit evidence-y, doesn't it?
I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father.
With no evidence of that.
A bribery scheme of which there isn't any evidence to back that up.
There's really no evidence.
Well, we've been presenting evidence. We've been presenting bank records that show wires from China that were then laundered through shell companies.
There has been no evidence. There's been no evidence at all. They have no evidence. Say it again.
Yeah, they have no evidence. Archer did not provide any evidence connecting President Biden to his son's business.
I mean, like, the evidence has been around since before the 2020 election.
Stealing.
He was aware of Hunter's business. He met with Hunter's business partners. You found a letter that illustrates that he knew me in the rear view.
I mean, doesn't that sound like evidence?
It's an abuse of soft power, I'd say.
Has any of them once provided evidence of what they are claiming?
Well, not anything other than circumstantial evidence.
The National Archives.
I like Jake Tapper. He was like, Jake Tapper, I don't even know what the allegations are against Biden.
Archives allegedly has 5,400 emails showing then Vice President Biden using phony names to communicate government information to his son, Hunter.
They don't appear to have direct evidence linking him to his son, Hunter.
Republicans have no evidence.
Can I just say evidence of what?
Records released from the National Archives show Hunter Biden's investment firm, Rosemont Seneca Partners, exchanging more than, sit down for this number, 1,000 emails with Joe Biden's office during his time as vice president.
A complete and total lack of evidence.
There was no evidence of any wrongdoing by President Biden.
Archer revealed that the first son put...
Other than all the evidence, right? I mean, again, this is why people don't trust the 2020 election.
Then Vice President Joe Biden on speakerphone more than 20 times during business meetings.
I should point out.
Now, it is important to keep in mind there's no evidence.
No evidence.
No actual evidence.
No evidence.
No evidence. They have yet to provide any hard evidence that the president himself has done.
I mean, bank records, sworn testimony, first, like, everybody saying it. I mean, like, Hunter Biden's laptop? No, that's not evidence.
Anything wrong.
Insane. I don't know who MRC news busters are, but thank you very much. So I actually just found that clip, this is awesome, right? This is freaking awesome. So I want to set this up for you before we watch it, right? Again, I tie all this into my local synagogue because that's basically my life, right? The two areas of my life. Like I had this big problem with the ex-rabbi. I call him ex-rabbi because he's unemployed as a rabbi and completely unemployable. And I do laugh very heartily every time I say that, right? Because he defamed me and his little minions defamed me left, right, and bloody center, right? They took a lengthy poo-poo on all Jewish law, right? So several months ago, I was in synagogue on Friday night, right? I was with a friend of mine, and who was visiting, a friend of mine from rabbinical ceremony, and the old rabbi, the one before, who I loved, whose son actually just got the job as a new rabbi. But I was like, no, please don't get another rabbi, right? I was like, my synagogue getting a rabbi is like giving a chimpanzee a flamethrower, right? Because honestly, I saw with the last one, he could do literally any sin, right? He could defecate on Judaism and Jewish law in any way, shape, or form, and all the morons surrounding me would just stare on silently, slack-jawed, as flies fell off their idiot faces. Why did I say it? Because that happened last time. Anyway, so he's speaking, and my friend said, "Oh, who's this guy?" I said, "Oh, that guy used to be the rabbi. He's a really good guy." I said, "Well, he left," and he said, "What happened after you left?" He said, "Well, that's when the place fell to evil." So this other neighbor of mine in front of me, who I never had a beef with ever, like starts hopping about, and oh, I was like, "What is that? Are you getting mad at what I whispered to the friend over here?" I was like, "I thought no, couldn't be, must be something else, right?" So a week goes by, and he accosts me as I'm leaving synagogue and said, "Did you say this?" I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah. So I say, "Well, I disagree with that." So I'm like, "Specifically, what do you disagree with me about?" And so, yeah, I explain. I say to the thing, "Look, this guy very publicly took a violated Jewish law and, destroyed our community, right? Desecrated." Yeah, I think is the only way then, and uses rabbinic authority to desecrate the Judaism. So, and his reaction was very similar to what you're going to see over here. This is absolutely incredible.
Take from the text message to his adult daughter, Hunter's text message, I have to give 50% of my income to Pop.
I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that means.
Well, it's
how do you not know what that means?
I know it's circumstantial evidence, and you prefer that.
No, what could it?
Not circumstantial evidence. It's evidence.
I have no idea.
But doesn't it?
I don't know.
Well,
I appreciate your.
Has anybody asked her?
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't you think somebody should ask her?
Okay. Like I'm not. I just said I don't know, and I don't know what to make of it, so I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah,
what do you want me to say?
Yeah, but you say there's no evidence, but then there's a text message where he says, "I give Pop 50% of my money." That's evidence.
Okay. Well, okay, fine.
So
it's evidence. I appreciate.
Right, and that was what that guy was like. Yeah, okay. It means you're wrong. It means there is evidence, you dumb cunt. That's what it fucking means.
Appreciate you having me on.
It doesn't. That something like that. Who do you think is being more? I listen to that and I'm saying,
you
can free to go.
I feel you want me to leave, like just walk out in the middle of this because that way you can
you can go.
Right.
Is this a standard? Really, this is the way the Washington Post handles people who disagree with them.
When I agree to be on for 45 minutes,
go,
and then I get on for an hour and 15. Yeah, that after a while I go.
Go.
Thanks for
no, he just left, right? So I think Trump's pretty inevitable because why? Because the Biden and the world have freaking destroyed everything. They are absolutely useless, and I think the only way to see how absolutely useless and evil they are is to see them in action, right? So it's been a long few years, but man, look, apocalypse or not, I do see Trump even from jail winning by a landslide. I mean, honestly, I think and you idiot Republicans out there, don't think you're going to get by with any other candidate. I like Vivek a lot. Don't think you're going to get by. If you dump Trump, about 70% of your support is dumped. Then you basically that's the best way for Biden to be reelected. But here, look, this is what's going on with Trump right now. Where is it? Yeah, like he seems pretty liked. Like, he seems more popular now than ever, doesn't he? Yeah, people in England, they get all uptight when they go, USA. I mean, why? It's okay to be proud of your country. America has done a lot of great in the world. So's England. Like, last night, I think it was last night, the proms, and people were waving English flags and EU flags. Dumb idiots. But yeah, I mean, look, I just had lots of footage of people loving him, right? 1 second. Video file. What's this one? USA! USA! basically the same thing, right? He's 10 yards further down, right? But where is it? This one?
Don't forget, you look at this arena and it's packed. Look at this arena. It's packed. We're a year before the election. You know, these guys don't pack an arena the night before the election. They have a smattering of people. Oh, good Lord. Remember Hillary with the thing with the women screaming? That one woman with the glasses, she's become famous. No.
And Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States.
And it's been like this ever fucking since, right? Ever since. Oh, shut up. The awfuls, affluent white female liberals. Can't be wrong.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere
That was the most beautiful stage I've ever seen. By the end of the evening, it didn't look pretty.
I'm trying to imagine if Joe Biden somehow won a second term. Well, the way they win is the same way they won the first term. It's called cheating. I mean, but I just think Trump's going to overwhelm the system, and it's not Trump. It's actually Biden. People just don't buy the bullshit anymore, right? And the weird thing is, the talking heads on TV, they can't get their heads around it. They just can't understand it. Here, we'll watch this clip. Why we talk me into it? Now I've got a little Wizzy Will going on. Come on, little Wizzy Will. There you go. We go back down nowhere. Doink. Doink. Like, look at this. It's just crazy.
93% of voters say he's too old to seek a second term. Only 47%.
Yeah, but I've got to point this out. If CNN is reporting they are neck and neck, that means Trump is 8 points ahead. Right, and this is a year early.
To seek a second term. Only 47% of voters think the same of Trump. How do you fight those two things?
There's a couple of things. First of all, I understand to some extent, even if the numbers are better, people don't feel as though it's better. And if you're a millennial,
the numbers aren't better. The numbers are better, but you're giving them bullshit numbers, right? And your bullshit doesn't work when they can't afford fucking milk, you blithering moron, right? And I understand you can afford milk, right? Anybody who lives in the Beltway, you're all doing fine financially. You all got a ridiculous amount of money, right? By the way, she has a very, very, very nice rack, this young lady. Don't know who she is. Not sure about punditry, but maybe some kind of slave layer outfit. That would probably enhance this broadcast.
You have high mortgage costs. You feel that the American dream is probably your rent is too damn high. I understand. I honestly understand the concern. But think about what the Biden-Harris team was elected to do. It was elected to run the bureaucracy, engage in good governance, and bring the country back to normalcy.
Okay, dude, you're arresting journalists for speech and sending them to jail. You've destroyed the legal system. Right, you are the fascist that you was terrified that Biden was going to be. You've brought America to its freaking knees. I mean, literally brought it to its knees. I mean, like, have you seen all the weird images of people like out there flowing off their face? Yeah, do I have any of those? Let's have a look. Betty Johnson has a bundle. Yeah, like the urban decay that we see in the last few years. It's insane. Right, it's absolutely insane. You have a New Mexico governor just suspended the U.S. Constitution. Right, she just suspended the right to bear arms because she declared a health emergency. Right? Yeah, you know who else declared health emergencies much in the same way? Yes, those naughty National Socialists from Germany. Right? They declared health emergencies and did not work out well. Look here, you want a great example of how messed up things are? Let me show you. Yeah, you piss off. I can't deal with you. Hang on. This is Biden's America, right? This is 100% Biden's America. The man on the left is Henri Theriault. He was just sentenced to 22 years in prison for seditious conspiracy in the J6 riot, even though he wasn't at the Capitol. Yeah, he wasn't at the event. What actually happened was they tried to get him to sign a document saying Donald Trump made him perform the insurrection, and he refused They gave him 22 years in prison. The man on the right is Shannon Brandt, who ran over and killed an 18-year-old Donald Trump supporter, and he was just sentenced to 5 years in prison. So let's just get straight. He got 22 years for seditious conspiracy for people entering the Capitol, which he wasn't there for, and he had no idea, that they were going in the Capitol. 22 years of it, they destroyed his life. This guy who ran over and murdered a Trump supporter, right? Murdered an 18-year-old kid, got 5 years. That's Biden's America, right? That's your return to normalcy, right? He will get credit for time served under house arrest, reducing his sentence by 1 year. This is your justice system at work, right? People do not buy your bullshit anymore, right? That's the bottom line. People do not buy your bullshit anymore. And the only thing that the reason they don't is because they don't have any money to buy anything with, right? That's the basic bottom line. This is what Biden's America looks like, right? This is 100% what Biden's America looks like.
Man. Bombuckler. Come look at the one here. You see certain people fry fish, stew chicken.
Look at it. They're cooking something. What they cook?
Or even steam something. But that one here, roast rat to blood, yo.
They're cooking rat. Right? That's where we came to. This is where we are. So don't tell me the economy's doing great. Like when people are eating rats on the freaking street.
What, yo, Bridget? I walk one in a John shop now. Them are gonna make some hot down soup or something.
Get out of New York, mate. Get out. Yeah, that's why Trump's gonna win in a landslide, right? Because of that. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.